Look the part, play the part. Yakko sponsors Vanarama National League on BT Sport.
Hello everyone and welcome to a slightly shorter version of the Vanarama National League highlight show. 8 National League teams were involved in the second round of the FA Cup this weekend, so we've got 6 games coming up for you. We start at Prenton Park. After an unbeaten run of 9 matches, Tranmere's 10th league game under the management of Mickey Mellon offered up the chance to leap to the summit of the National League. By contrast, York City are yet to win in 8 games since Gary Mills returned to the dugout. A change of fortune is required for the visitors, and they were perhaps lucky not to concede a penalty in first half stoppage time. Ben Tollett's claims waved away by referee Wayne Barrett. Mills has turned to veteran striker John Parkin, signed on loan from Newport this week. He laid the ball off to Sean Newton, who almost scored a spectacular opener. And it was Parkin himself whose volley nearly caught out Scott Davis as the visitors went in search of a first away win in 15 months. But it never rains, it pours for York City right now. As the game entered the 93rd minute, Lee Vaughan crossed for last season's top scorer James Norwood to break the deadlock and the hearts of the travelling fans. A goal of huge significance as York fall to the bottom of the table while Tranmere go top.
There's still an awful lot of football to be played, but absolutely I wouldn't swap places with any other team this evening, that's for sure. But we'll enjoy this evening and the weekend. We'll be back to work again on Monday and Tuesday, and it'll be about keeping trying to improve. And if there's anything that we can learn from today, me included, we'll come over the performance and make sure that we do that.
You know, a ball's coming our box, far post, and we've conceded in the 93rd minute, whatever it was. So that's taken the shine off it. What was a good performance. You know, we take a lot from the performance, and we've got to make sure we produce that again in 2 weeks when the league starts again.
Dover Athletic are one of the form teams in the National League right now. 4 wins in a row had seen Chris Kinnear's team climb into the playoff places above Dagenham and Redbridge. The visitors arrived at Crabble, having lost 3 of their last 5, but they were given a helping hand after 11 minutes. Dover keeper Steve Arnold losing his balance and allowing Jordan Maguire-Drew's free kick to go past him. Arnold was able to make up for his error with a superb point-blank save from Christian Assembalonga as the Daggers dominated the first half. John Still's team have suffered a couple of home hidings lately, but their form on the road has been good. Corey Whiteley was the next player to test Arnold. And the pressure told just before the break. 37-year-old Paul Benson scoring the first goal of his second spell with the club, doubling the away side's advantage. The hosts might have reduced the deficit before heading in at half-time, but Moses Emmanuel screwed his shot wide. It's never game over when you have Ricky Miller around. The league's top scorer was a menace to the Daggers' defence. Luke Guttridge, impatient, conceding a penalty. Unsurprisingly, Miller stepped up, but he was denied by Elliot Justin as the home fans sensed it might not be Dover's day. But the visitors couldn't keep Miller at bay for much longer as he grabbed his 22nd goal in 20 appearances this campaign. Dagenham held on, though, for their 3rd away victory on the spin, lifting them above Dover and into the top 4.
At the minute, with the injuries we've had, which has just been, I've never known nothing like it, we just want to stay in that group, stay in that pack that want to be up there. And a result like today, like I say, on the back of 2 disappointing home games, it's fantastic, and it shows that we've got the capability of responding to disappointment, which is going to be key for us.
Boreham Wood had the chance to try and close the gap on the top 5 on Saturday and enhance their playoff prospects. They travelled to the recreation ground to face an Aldershot side whose own promotion hopes had been damaged by a run of 3 defeats in a row. But Gary Roddick's men drew first blood thanks to top scorer Scott Rendell, his 6th of the season, coming 10 minutes before half-time. Luke Garrard's success has been based on the Boreham Wood back line. Only Tranmere had conceded fewer goals in the National League. But they were all at sea in Hampshire. Keeper Grant Smith had to be on his toes to deny Dion Conroy. The hosts made the game safe with 15 minutes to play. Idris Kanu, once on trial at Manchester United, turned 17 on Monday, and Kanu offered a glimpse of his potential with some fancy footwork and a finish to match. It condemned Boreham Wood to successive defeats for the first time this season, while Aldershot secure a first win in 5 matches.
We need points on the board, you know. We got ourselves into a good position in the league table, and for whatever reason, you know, it's dwindled away, and we had to put a line under it, and the quicker the better. You know, Boreham Wood are a good side. You know, let's not make no mistake about that. They're a good side, and we're pleased to get the 3 points today.
After 4 losses in a row, Maidstone United had stopped the rot with victory over Eastleigh on Tuesday. The trip to Hayes Lane gave Jay Saunders' team a chance to further ease their relegation fears. No such bother for Bromley, who sit comfortably in mid-table. Neil Smith's side did suffer defeat earlier in the week at Woking, ending their 5-match unbeaten run. And they were keen to make amends, as just 18 seconds into the match, Dave Martin's cross was nodded in by Adam Cunnington. 1-0 Bromley, the fastest goal scored this season in the division. So the worst possible start for the visitors, who were keen to get on the front foot. Dan Sweeney unable to keep his header down. Bromley looked the more likely to score again after the break. Cunnington and Martin linking up again before Martin forced a save from Lee Worgan at his near post. And the points were wrapped up with 25 minutes remaining. Blair Turgott getting the better of Bobby Joe Taylor. His ball in found George Porter, who powered past Worgan. It's now just 2 wins in the last 12 for Maidstone, while the hosts are back among the points.
You know, we had to sit down on Thursday and got everything out in the open and trained really hard looking for this game. And the boys were back on it. You know, from obviously the first minute to go 1-0 up from Adam Cunnington, a great ball from Dave Martin, just set the tone. And I don't think we ever looked back. And you know, and then George got the second goal, and I thought we were just to a man, absolutely fantastic.
It's difficult at this level. I think once you go a goal down, it's teams defend well, and I thought Bromley, to be fair to them defensively, was superb. Everything we put in their box today, they dealt with, and that was the main difference. Everything we put in their box, they dealt with. At the other end, they've put 2 good balls in and scored 2 goals.
Only high-flying Lincoln had managed to defeat Chester in the last 15 games. John McCarthy's men had enjoyed back-to-back 3-0 wins coming into this clash with struggling Guiseley at Nethermoor Park. True to form, the visitors struck first after half an hour. An acrobatic effort from James Allaby, his 7th of the season. That's more than he managed in the whole of the last campaign. Adam Lockwood's team were unbeaten in their last 5 home games, and they had the chance to equalise 7 minutes into the second half when Johnny Hunt was judged to have brought down Connor Brown, penalty to Guiseley. Simon Walton made no mistake from the spot, sending keeper Alex Lynch the wrong way. Lynch was in the thick of the action as he came flying out of his area. Play continued as Alex Purvis stabbed goalwards, Blaine Hudson clearing off the line. And Chester's goalkeeper was on hand to deny Jordan Preston and make it 6 games unbeaten for them, as Guiseley gained ground on the teams just outside the drop zone.
It's a tough league, this, and you have to play and fight hard for anything that you get in this league. And, you know, sometimes you don't get what you deserve, and I thought from the kick-off, to be fair, we were outstanding with the tempo. So, yeah. I can only say well done to everybody involved, and hopefully it will continue.
We know that playoffs are 78, 80 points, and it's actually, we're trying to bridge the gap. Let's see if we can have our best ever season, see where we finish, and then as a club look and see how far off we are, you know, achieving the points total to make a playoffs, because that's the next step for us if we want to try and get back in the league, and then we'll go and work on that and see what we need to make up the difference.
23 games in the National League had seen bottom club North Ferriby score only 10 times, but Steve Howsham and his players knew that if they could beat Gateshead at Grange Lane, they would just be 3 points away from safety. And the visitors were out of form, having lost their previous 2. They did, however, come close to striking first. Paddy McLaughlin breaking from midfield and firing wide. Reece Thompson's the only North Ferriby player to score more than once this season. He found a way in behind Gateshead, but couldn't hit the target. Howsham's men were victorious in the reverse fixture back in September. Thompson scored the only goal, and he was Gateshead's nemesis once again, registering his 4th of the campaign before the half-hour mark. The hosts had something to hang on to, but they nearly lost their advantage before half-time when James Bolton's header came back off the bar. The second 45 minutes saw Neil Aspin throw players forward in search of an equaliser, but the home side gave everything to ensure they completed the job. In the end, Jamal Fifield was unable to squeeze his shot past Rory Watson as North Ferriby do the double over Gateshead, clinging on for a priceless victory.
Massive 3 points, takes us off the bottom of the league. Delighted for the boys, you know, they'll work the socks off yet again. And, you know, to get a double over someone like Gateshead in this league, and you know, we've entered this league to really give it a go and enjoy ourselves, and you know, it's another one of them days where we can enjoy ourselves.
Only 6 games, but enough to affect how the National League table looks this weekend. Tranmere Rovers return to top spot, but Lincoln and Forest Green have a game in hand on their title rivals. Dagenham and Redbridge move up to 4th, and Gary Waddock will be pleased with his 3 points against Boreham Wood. They move up to 9th, 8 points from the playoffs. North Ferriby United move off the foot of the table after their 1-0 victory over Gateshead. York City replace them at the bottom, and Gary Mills will be desperate to get his first win in his second spell at the club. Just enough time to remind you of our next live and exclusive match from the Vanarama National League. It's Macclesfield Town against Bromley on Saturday the 17th of December from 11:45 on BT Sport 1 and in glorious 4K. That's all we've got time for this week. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again very soon.
Look the part, play the part. Yakko sponsors Vanarama National League on BT Sport.